Yeah, dog. We're bronze 3 and we're hacking right now. Like, come on, man.
Watch the kill cams.
Again, and if I was hacking, I'm like, "Do you think I would be down here? Do you think I would have died at all to you?" I'm like, "You're bro. Like, you're terrible." It's a real problem, though. There's a lot of people, especially pros, who are just like, "Dude, rank's unplayable. It's pretty much chalk until they get this anti-cheat figured out," which I don't really know what the deal is. I saw that Treyarch put out a statement saying that they're aware of it and they're gonna try to work towards it. I'm like, "Well, that's great." Like, we're aware that it's a broken mess.
Welcome everyone to episode 198 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin.
And I'm Mike.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm good, bro. I'm chilling. It was a cold ass day today.
It was cold.
It was an okay day at work. But everyone's just going around being like, "We've got one more day. That's it. We got one day." You know,
Yeah.
because so I'm in on Wednesday. But it's like I think it's our only half day of the year. Even on Christmas before that, we don't even do half days. But we've got one coming up and we're not doing anything. It's just going to be
Yeah.
like some assembly that's going to be going on for like 2 hours or something. There's going to be some stupid games, I shouldn't be saying stupid, but it's going to be stupid games. So I have to go to it, but I'm
Keeps everyone
like,
occupied.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, had Monday, the classes are tough. I'm like, all right, I just got one day left with these kids. So that's what's
Yeah.
keeping me afloat.
Yeah, for the people that don't know, this is Thanksgiving week for people in the
Yes.
US. So most people get Thanksgiving and the Black Friday after Thanksgiving off. But yeah, dude, I don't remember. Did we have Wednesday off? I thought we always had a half day.
Yeah, I think we always had a half day.
Yeah. I know it depends on like district. Like there are some schools that have half days, some just don't have it at all. And then some
Right.
just have school the entire day.
Yeah, so that's the thing because I'm surprised, and I don't really know how it works out because we're not usually allowed to have half days, because it's like a whole logistical issue. But I don't even know if they call them half days; they call them like early dismissals, you know. But it's like it's a whole thing. So it's the one day, and I think Christmas too that we have them. So I'm stoked for it. It's just gonna be nice getting out at like I think we're out at 11:30. Which I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I get to be
Yeah.
done. I'm like, dude, I'm going to speed out of that school. People are like, Mr. Harkins. No.
Hey, enjoy your Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Go.
exactly. Yeah. I told everyone today, I'm like, gentlemen, we've got one. Well, I'm like, I have to see you after this. I'm like, for 45 minutes. I'm like, do not ruin my day. Like, that's it. I'm like, you got 45 minutes with me tomorrow, and then we're done. I'm like, don't get yourself in trouble. I'm like, if you want to go play a game, relax, please do.
Yeah, it's a season of giving.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Give me a break, bro. That's your giving to me. I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. I have a full day. Like I didn't have enough time off to take Friday off. Or Wednesday. So most people take those days off anyways, so I'll be working Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, which sucks.
Sucks.
And then I'm like, since I'm one of the only few people on the team that's working those days, obviously I'm like the point of contact that day. I'm hoping it's slow, but today, obviously, you texted me about the shorts and
yeah, what kind of day do you have, bro?
It was just a freaking long, busy day, because everybody's trying to cram in everything, before the holidays because people are leaving.
Right.
So everybody's trying to get all their work done. I'm just in meetings and meetings and meetings, and knowing that all these people get time off and I have to be here this week, I'm like, dude, God, come on.
Right.
I used so much of my time off during the summer.
Yeah, so it all balances out.
Yeah, no, it all works out. It's just that I didn't spread it out very well. So
right.
But
yeah, I mean, like I think in the past you've always kind of worked around these holidays. Like I remember, I thought it was New Year's or Christmas sometime in the past couple of years. You worked like maybe this is a stretch, like, you would work a Christmas Eve and being like, "Oh, dude, like,
Yeah, I do.
I'm" Yeah, exactly,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
being
don't
like
get Christmas Eve off.
right, which is yeah,
Yeah,
it's insane, but you tell
yeah,
me you're like, "Dude, nothing's going on." Like,
yeah.
I can go
Well,
about my day pretty much, or it's very let me
you
not say nothing's going on, it's very slim compared to what it
yeah.
normally is.
It's only slim because people are taking it off,
Right,
but there's always work left over, so the people that are working those days, those people have to take care of it, and it's usually
right,
me. Yeah, like,
right.
I only get Christmas and New Year's off, and both fall on a Wednesday, so if you have time off, you're obviously trying to take off all of that, but yeah, for me, like, I if the stock market is open in the US, I'm working
You're working,
'cause the
yeah.
stock market doesn't close
Right.
for, you know,
For n doesn't
for
close
no
for
one.
nobody.
Yeah, but either way, it was just a busy, long day for me, uh, but I'm hoping it kinda just chills out as Thanksgiving comes. I mean, the work's gonna be there, but I don't mind doing the work if I'm not, getting messaged all the time. I can just lock in and just do the work.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, because I know you've talked about it, that's, like, your least favorite part is just, like, being in meeting after meeting, you know?
Yeah.
It's, like, especially too when you've got stuff that you have to do on your own time, you're like, "Bro, I gotta get this done," and this meeting, like, whatever it may not be as important, or you're like, "Dude, I could
Yeah.
definitely miss this and
Yeah,
just do the actual work that I gotta do."
exactly. So, I mean, yeah, it's, the holidays for, everybody in the US, but we, uh, we wanna talk about mainly ranked play this episode because
Yes, bro.
we we were able to play, like, a decent amount of games. We're actually
Mhm.
I think we've only lost 1 game since we played ranked. I think we're, like,
Um
9-1, right? 9 and
I
1 or 8
think
and 1?
so. We're definitely in and around that realm. We're like 9-1 or 9-2. Um,
Yeah.
trying to think, because no, we've lost 2 games. I remember we've lost 2 games and they were terrible. We lost that red card game, and
Oh,
then I
yeah.
think yeah, we lost the red
Yeah,
card
that was the
game,
one.
and yeah, that was the
The
one that was
protocol
like
one.
total BS, and then we lost, what was the other one? I think we lost, did we lose Vault? Did we lose that Vault
Oh, the
Hardpoint?
hardpoint, vault hardpoint, that's what it was, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
These games, bro, we were frying, and it
Yeah.
just, like, we got reversed on them, you know?
Yeah.
That was a real problem. We'll talk about it, how this rank's been playing out. Like, overall, I'll say, I think ranked this year is really good. I like it.
Yeah, yeah.
It's, like, it's really fun to play. I know some people hearing that right now are like, "These guys are
Well,
fucking cooked," you know?
dude,
And it's
we'll get
yeah.
into that. This is our
Yeah.
personal experience,
Yeah,
alright?
exactly. Like, being on PS5s and starting like, not grinding, like, 14 hours a day and getting up to Crimson and complaining about ranked, so far it's good. You know,
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had
You
0 problems with it.
yeah, we're having fun, and, yeah, we play, like, a handful of games every single day, and I'm sure we're gonna get the weekends where we kinda just grind out ranked together,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it helps that this game's fun to play, and we're getting back into that competitive mindset, trying to learn spawns and, setups, certain things like that. But it's been fun the past couple of days that we've been playing, and we're at the point where we're both like silver something. I forget. We're silver 1, 2, or 3, I think. Or are we in gold?
Yeah,
No, we're in silver.
I can't remember. I'm thinking we're gold 1, like, we just hit it, but I think we're, like, silver 3, silver 2 or
Or
3.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
we haven't
we're
put.
still low.
Yeah, we're still low. We haven't played that much. But
They're trying to
it's
get us
just
out of
funny.
there, bro.
Yeah, we're just flying through for the most part. Like, the games that we played, we didn't play that many, but we're getting, like, hundreds of
Oh
SR per
oh,
game
yeah.
when we were playing, and, like, not to stroke our ego, but to be honest, every game that we've played so far, we're absolutely frying. Like,
Yeah.
we're calling out and trying and stuff, but I feel like we've been trying, but we are absolutely cooking. Like, we're dropping like 30 plus kills a game when that doesn't happen at the diamond crim level.
No. I mean, I didn't I didn't think much of it at first, but I remember the first night we played, I was using the aims, and there were 2 games that I dropped 49, and I
Mhm.
was just like, "Bro," like,
Yeah.
I'm almost dropping. And those are the games that we lost, which, like, pissed me off even more,
Mhm.
but I was like, "Dude, just the fact that I'm dropping that many kills in these respawns," I'm like, "Dude, at least back in MW3, if I was getting 49, that was like a diamond." Like, I never I must have been, like 3 white monsters deep just killing it, you know?
Yeah.
It was a rarity. Most of the time, it's like high 20s, maybe in like the low mid 30s. Um, so yeah, we were both in like the high 30s or like, well into the 40s, which just shows that, and obviously too with the SR, I mean, we were getting like, even still, I think I'm getting like 300 SR, 350, somewhere around there per win. Um, they just want us out of there, which is weird because they have this. Well, I was surprised by it. I don't know if they had talked about it before, but they got rid of the placement matches. I remember
Mhm.
we were saying that we're like, "Oh, dude, we got to play for our placements at the least. Like, we'll get those 3 matches in, find out where we are." Um, and they didn't do that. They just start everyone from bronze one, which I didn't really talk to you about. But what do you think about that? Do you like that more or no?
I mean, I don't care too much for it, to be honest. Realistically, I do think starting off like everyone bronze on an equal level, that's the best way to do it. So I I guess I like it more. But the placement matches were fine, but I guess I can see where you squad up, right, with 3 of your friends. 3 people are really good. Or no, 2 people are really good, 2 are kind of mediocre. And then you play it, and one person places diamond, another person places gold.
Right.
And you're like, "Oh, okay, well, we can't even play with you now." And in ranked for this year, they took that out completely, so you can party out with anyone now, which is good. But say if you're gold and then you party up with a friend that's crim, you're gonna be put into the highest like ranking lobby, which
Right.
sucks. Well, like it doesn't suck. It's good for people that like say you and I think you and I know we can play in the diamond and crim lobbies, but we just haven't put in the time playing it. And then we load up with one of our friends that's crim, then we can go and actually play in those lobbies, and we'll be fine.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know how SR works. Like, I would imagine that if we're in those lobbies, say like we had a friend who's Diamond 3, and we're in those lobbies, he maybe would get like 20 SR. I'm like, bro, if we won that, how much would we get? Like, would we get like
I'm sure we'd still get a
700
decent
SR?
amount. I'm
They
sure
would
we
just
would get
be
a
like,
decent
bro,
amount.
it's like, dude, you guys are, silver 3 or like gold 1, and you just beat a bunch of like diamond players. They'd be like, send them up like way up through this. You should immediately go to like plat or something, you know?
Mhm. As long as you're
I don't
not
know
getting
how I
carried.
feel. Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You go like 9 and 28 as a
Yeah, yeah.
gold. You're like, dude, we shit on you guys. I'm like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro. I kind of think the placement was better
Mhm.
because I feel like with this, I waste time, you know? Like
Yeah,
you and I both know we shouldn't be starting here. You know what I mean? Like if
yeah,
we did placement matches, we'd probably be in like the gold 3 realm, like
yeah.
gold or like just in gold. Um, but I think right now, like if we probably played, like that's probably where we are as players, is probably like gold 3, plat 1. We put in the
Mhm.
time and obviously get better than we'll go through. But it's like you start off with these bronze players, like everybody does, and again, you can just
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
go through it.
You get a
So
mix
it's
of
not,
everyone.
yeah, it's not the end of the
Yeah.
world, but I don't know. I kind of like the placement. They throw some people that are, solid at you, and then
Mhm.
some guys that are just completely trash to kind of get an idea of where you could actually hang. But to your point, I do see how it could be inconsistent. Like you and me could be 3 games that we play for placement matches, and we just play absolute demons and
Yeah,
lose all 3 games. And they're like, you're a bronze player or you're a silver player. It's like, dude, you're putting
yeah,
us up against insane competition.
yeah, and then that's when it's like, "Oh, we wasted our time because those 5 placement
Right.
matches were, not, like, unfair, but it's like we loaded into a 4 stack of people
Right.
that
Right.
all play together, and then it's just you, me, and 2 randos just
Yeah.
exploring.
Yeah. Yeah, it can go either way, but I do agree with your point that it's good that everyone starts on an even playing field, you know? So for like
Mhm.
us, we don't belong in bronze, honestly, so they're kicking us out. Those people that we put down, like, they're just gonna stay in bronze, like, they
Yeah,
found their home, they're never gonna leave, like,
yeah.
maybe they're, like, pushing to get silver, you know?
Mm.
Um,
But that like that's a good point too though, that since we're all starting equal, it allows everybody to like wanna grind out to the next, rank. Whereas if you do your placements or whatever, right? And say you're really, really good and you just got placed in the crim, right? Obviously, if you're placed into there, you're probably trying to hit iridescent and probably the top 250, things like that. So you're gonna be grinding out the game, but you're probably not grinding out, I would say, like, as much as if you started from the beginning, if that makes sense. So it
right.
increases, like, the longevity of the like, your time playing rank play. Um, but regardless, so, yeah, we played a decent amount of games, and we cooked in all of them. Like, the difference between some of the people we played versus the players we are going to play eventually are night and day. Like there was one moment specifically on protocol, we were playing control. We had two ticks. And this was for match point. And I was like, yo, if we just stack this, we win. Like two people on it. And we weren't even I don't it was so nonchalant. I was like, oh, going to a spiral staircase, went down, someone got a kill, and then we all just hopped on and we won.
Right. Yeah,
No
it
one
was
tried.
ridiculous.
The enemy team didn't do anything.
Yeah, there was a lot of moments where, like, I would be, like, on protocol on A, and I'm, like, right on the stairs, and I'm watching, like, the doors, and I'm, like, just like this, I'm like, "Yo, I got it, I got it." And then I'm looking at the ticks, and we're, like, halfway through the 3rd one, I'm like I'm
No
like,
one's
"What?"
coming.
Yeah. I'm, like, watching my screen, I'm like, "Dude, what's going on right now? Like, where are these guys?" Like, there's nobody I'm like, "No one bottom? There's no one bottom? There's still no one here, and you're not
Yeah, yeah.
calling anything out?" And then it's just like, "We got A." I'm like, "Are these guys okay?" You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very strange. Um,
Mm.
yeah, you get to see a lot of people that, the weekend players who maybe only again, they only play for maybe 1 or 2 hours a week in those levels and in those areas and ranked, and it's scary. I'm like, "Wow, these
Hey,
guys are really
they're
bad."
they're
0
trying.
0 omni movement. 0 movement
Oh, yeah.
used. That's like well, I remember I was talking about that with you in I think it was one of the past couple episodes, how I'm curious to see how that stacks up, as we get into the plat stuff. Like, are we gonna see people, like jumping backwards or diving backwards, diving out windows and shooting, like people who clearly have scuffs? Um, and I mean, these guys, they're just walking like it's the last COD, you know what I mean? Like they're not even
They're
they're
not
like barely
aiming.
sliding. Yeah, it's crazy. Um, yeah, it's definitely an experience down there. So we got the
Yeah.
fuck out of there really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah. It's,
But
it's been fun though.
no, no, definitely. And I'd say
Yeah.
too, like I like the maps. I think the maps, at least, in my, whatever my opinion's worth, which I guess isn't that much in ranked, I think the maps play really nicely. I like all of them except red card. Red card, just
Yeah. Well, the new thing that they added into this ranked is you can veto, and
right.
everyone vetoes race car. So
Yeah, thank God. Yeah.
or
That's
rewind.
yeah, because in the last ones, wouldn't they just assign a map? Like you wouldn't even have a choice about it.
Yeah, you
They
could
would
just vote which one like you wanted.
oh, so it did but it had the map voting, like, it would be search and
I'm
destroy,
per
and then they'd give you 2 maps?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure it gave you 2 maps, and then you don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah, yeah.
It
Oh,
was something
gotcha,
like
gotcha.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
but
because
yeah.
I remember way too many times in the last COD, like, when in MW3 we play ranked, we'd be pissed about a map that we're getting, where this one, usually it's a good
Mhm.
selection, so it's always like, rewind gets the boot, red card gets the boot wait, is it rewind, the one with the shopping
Yeah,
mall?
rewind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, get rid of that map and get rid of red card immediately. It's like, we're gonna take the classified, hope we get something good.
Yeah.
But yeah, the veto process is really nice. Like
Mhm.
that just makes it so much better.
Yeah, I think everyone's in agreement of whatever. Like these are the maps that most people want out anyways. But I have a prediction. I think Rewind is gonna grow on us. Like Rewind Hardpoint. I have a feeling it's gonna grow on us. Like I don't know why, but I think it will.
It has potential for sure.
Yeah.
I see where you're coming from with it. Right now, I can't get into a flow on that map. But I could definitely see myself getting better at Rewind, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure once Hacienda comes out, it's probably gonna boot out Red Card for Hardpoint, and it'll probably be a control map because right now, control it's only two maps. It's Protocol and Vault.
I was gonna
Is it
say,
Vault?
Is Vault a control map?
Protocol and I don't want to butcher this. Let me look really quick. But it's only
I
two
would
maps.
I would imagine that it's Vault, just because 'cause I'm thinking about how Vault plays. It would make the most sense. But yeah, with Red Card, more than likely gonna be out because of Hacienda. I mean, I think it's obviously just the better move. And thinking too about the maps that we talked about in the last episode, those maps, they could definitely work for, rank play. At least the
Yeah.
one that I'm thinking of, not the one
Extraction.
that's on, like, the big, what is it? It's like a big, like, hangar or, like, on a
Yeah, yeah,
ship.
yeah. You're
Yeah,
thinking of
with the dam.
yeah, yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of the map, I don't really know it. But that map, I don't think will work for competitive, but the other one, I think the other one
Extraction.
definitely, yeah, Extraction,
Yeah,
I think would
yeah.
be really good.
Yeah. And
They
I
just need to
think the
get
one
rid of
that
them.
you're thinking of is Hideout. I think it's called Hideout.
I think you're right, yeah.
Yeah. Vault is the second control map.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
yeah, we only have 2 control maps, which I mean for for ranked, I guess it doesn't matter all that much, but for in competitive as a whole, that's an issue because when the CDL starts up and when they do the vetoing process, like one team's going to get favored no matter what in control.
Right,
Like,
right.
oh yeah, we don't want to play protocol control, and now the other team's forced to play vault.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that third game mode normally is the swing game mode and can cause a reverse sweep. And if a team just has ability to be like, nope, we're not playing our worst map,
Right.
it doesn't make any sense. A third map needs to be added
Yeah, and that's where I think Hacienda can just slot right in. I mean, Hacienda would be perfect for control.
for all
Um,
three game
yeah,
modes too.
honestly, for all 3, it'd be good. Which, talk about that, which is I don't know if we've just, by the grace of God, we haven't played it, but dude, we have yet to play Search and Destroy on Black Ops 6.
Yeah, I
We
don't.
have not.
Well, yeah, not even pubs, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I wish in ranked you had the ability to like vote on the different game modes you wanted, like by map, but that would just get so complicated because I bet you no one would play control at all.
Right.
Everyone would play search and maybe hardpoint.
Yeah, that's where it would suck, you just have, even worse than it is now, like, for us, we've had a drought of search and destroy, it just hasn't come up, that's all that it is. Um, but, yeah, if you could vote on modes, I mean,
That would
bro,
be
no chance. People would be like, it's like, "Oh, we got controller hardpoint, dude," and we're over here, "Dude, we haven't played controller forever," and it gets outvoted, and there it goes,
yeah, yeah.
It
That
would just be that all the time.
I I like what how they're implementing the veto system and the rotation of maps, even though we haven't gotten search on any of these maps yet. But I want to see that like tournament style. I hope Treyarch somehow implements that to where you load up with a team like randomly placed, and then you play through a tournament.
Right,
You play like a full series, like hard point, search, control, and then best of five. That would
right.
be awesome. And then you win, I don't know, some like a bunch of XP or yeah, even if I just won a bunch of XP, I would take that just because that's a fun environment.
Or what would be sick too is if you won the whole thing, it would be like, I'm trying to think of something that's, like, reasonable, 500 SR, something like that. You
Yeah.
know? Like, that would be sick, you know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, they definitely need some incentive for that because that would be cool. I mean, for us, obviously, watching the CDL, it would just make us feel even more immersed, like we're on the main stage,
Mhm.
or like at least going through that system that they do too. Um, I think it would be a huge hit.
That'd be
Um,
fun.
but again, it just needs to be down to an incentive as to what you get. It's like we've talked about before with the 2v2 tournaments. Like back when
Mhm.
they had that in Vanguard, they had was it Champion Hill?
Yeah.
Um, like that was so fun.
Mhm.
It just sucked that the rewards that you got from it were like kind of
This
non-existent,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
But
Um, but they
but you
need
and I
some.
still played it. That's the thing.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's still gonna be fun to do, even if they don't give us anything, they should. But, like, the tournament would be cool if you could wager, like, alright, everybody has to wager 25 SR,
Yeah.
and, like, how many ever teams, like, that's the pot. First place gets, X amount, second place gets this amount, third place gets this, and then bottom, they get nothing, you know? That would be fun.
Dude, you know how this is what they could do. This is how Activision and Sledgehammer and well, all of them. Activision, Sledgehammer, Treyarch, Fate War, they can make so much money off of this. If they did this tournament system, like we're talking about for ranked, like they do in the CDL, but the wager, COD points.
Yeah, yeah,
Bro, if they
yeah,
did that and the way you had to buy in, like back on Black Ops 1, you had to buy in with like the currency, dude, they would be so rich. Like
yeah,
it would
yeah,
be ridiculous. It's like, oh yeah, you want to go in like the buy-in's $500 or it's 500 COD points. Yeah, it's gonna be $2. You're like, yeah, no problem. You just
yeah,
keep doing that. They make it like really cheap for you to get in. So over like the course of a game, you buy that buy-in because you suck and you lose all the time and you don't have any
yeah.
COD points. Yeah, bro, you spend like, a few $100s. That's how they could do
That
it.
See, that's a good way to measure how successful, competitive COD is for
Yeah,
them. If they did something like that, because they can see how many players are actually, buying into these tournaments and, like, want
right.
to do this stuff, and that would just be so much fun. Like, I'd wager SR to go in and play, because then, I don't know, imagine if you're a diamond player, like a mid diamond player, and you have to wager 25 SR or whatever every single time, and you're just on a losing streak, and now you're all the way back down to silver,
Yeah,
and
right.
now you have to go and play randoms again just to get that SR back, and then go and do it again and see if you can get like a big pot of
Yeah.
SR.
Yeah, it would be crazy. Um, I do like the idea. It's just that they need to like they just need to do it. I'm surprised that no one's thought of that because they've done it in the sense of what we talked about with the 2v2 tournaments back in Cold War, then with the Champ Hill and Vanguard. Like they have this concept there, but they just need to follow through and apply it to ranked and follow the CDL. And then, like you said, I mean, it would I think it would be a huge hit.
Yeah, these listen to the COD Casuals.
I know, bro.
We
We got the
we gotta
ideas for it.
tag Treyarch with this,
Yeah.
and then they're gonna take the idea and not give us
Yeah,
any
yeah,
credit.
yeah. We get no money. I'm like, dude, give us like a 2% kickback on that idea.
Or
Um,
we gotta tag Ben.
yeah,
Get it on
yeah,
the flag to
yeah.
talk
He'll
about
go
it,
and analyze it.
because
Um,
and I was just gonna say, like, the casuals don't get any you know I don't think they get much shout outs for playing ranked and whatever.
no,
'Cause, like, that'd be fun, like, especially around major time too. Like, even obviously, I would like its own separate, not playlist, but, like, separate tournament, like, all the time, like, not just
yeah,
majors. But that'd be fun if they could just if it was too much work and they could only do it around majors, that would still be fun, because then imagine playing in a tournament, during that time span, and say if you win X amount of series within the tournament, you get limited edition like skins and camos for that major,
yeah.
and you can only get that by playing in this certain time span.
Yeah, I mean,
So
it would
that's
just be
an
an all
idea.
it would just be an all-around thing because it would encourage, the casuals to go and actually jump into this tournament setting, and then same thing with them even knowing about the CDL, like, they do I guess, a better job now, like, when you went in there, they have the players, like, they had that photo, I think, of Shotzi and Abizi,
Mhm.
and then throughout, like, the past CODs, they'll go and say, "Oh, CDL's live or Major's coming up," but if they have stuff based around that or with the CDL where if you wanna scan stuff, like, you'll get, COD points that you can use for this thing, like to buy in or whatever, or SR. I think they could definitely have a path to be able to integrate what's going on in the broadcast to what's going on in game, um, better.
Yeah, definitely. They
You
definitely
know,
could.
just make it more applicable other than just, like, calling cards and stuff, which is cool and it's a good start, but, it doesn't really, like, apply that much to the competitive side of Call of Duty for the casuals, which is everyone playing ranked.
Yeah, and we need to get more people into it because I guess maybe not Treyarch because Treyarch does support competitive a lot more than the other developers, but convince Activision like, hey, like I don't know, maybe Treyarch already has this in the works. That'd be awesome, and then we can reference back to this episode, like, look, they actually did it.
Right,
Uh, but prove to Activision like there is a big scene and competitive and room for this, so you should allocate, some uh some money over to like making a team to support all of this because obviously we all know what the CDL with it hasn't been doing the best financially and like there are a bunch of layoffs and things like that. But if they can prove the concept of, there's enough players, which there definitely is enough players playing ranked, they should, invest into this and develop it like even more because there is a fan base just for competitive COD players. Whereas, there are a lot of competitive players that don't even play pubs at all. Like they just play strictly competitive.
right.
So I think there's room there. And now speaking of ranked and having an audience for competitive COD, there is definitely a big audience, but there's also a big audience of hackers, which is what we'll get into because
Millions,
yeah, probably yeah.
probably.
You and I have not experienced this because we're not up in the iridescent 250 realm. Um, and also, I think it's because we're on PS5, even though I know there is crossplay. But I feel like if you're on console, you're not getting matched up with as many PC players, um, like every single game. I feel like you're getting matched
Right.
up more with console players. But either way, there's been a bunch of like backlash on ranked, specifically competitive COD side, because like players are just getting hacked on left and right. Like every single game, these pro players and like aspiring amateur players, they're all getting hacked on. And it's insane because I'll open up TikTok, right? And then there's a live stream and my feed's like all video game stuff. And I'll like swipe up and I see someone just straight up hacking, like in multiplayer. And I'm like, what is this person doing? And it's just I'm like, hey, uh, click my link in the bio if you want to join the community and like get these hacks. And there's just red boxes and just straight up aimbotting everywhere. Like no morals at all. Like you click in the last stream, they're just like, yeah, just join this, blah blah blah. One person had the audacity to say, no, I got all my camos legit, like, and then I just sell these. I'm like, dude, what? No.
A and the worst part about all of this too is that there's people that are on there, like 12-year-olds who see this and they get so amped up and they're like, "Oh my god," and they go and try to sneak mom's credit card to go and buy this stuff. It's pathetic. I think the biggest thing that you said in that whole thing, um, the problem with the hackers today is they just don't fucking care. They don't care that people call them a hacker. Like, dude, this used to be like, a badge of sin back in the
Yeah.
day. If you did this, like, people just look down upon you. And like people still do now, but a lot of people, I think they don't care. I don't think there's like, "Yeah, I hack, like, what are you gonna do about it?" You know? Like, that's kind of the attitude that
Yeah.
they have, which to me, I don't even understand why you would go and spend any money on a game to hack on it. It just makes no sense to me. If you wanna do mods in a single player game, that's not even the same thing, like, that's way different. But in a multiplayer game where you're just actively hacking to try to screw other people over and make yourself look better, it's the most pathetic thing that you could possibly do.
Yeah, and there's like different categories of this hacking. It's like what you just said there. The people that hack in competitive because they want to be treated as, oh, I'm a better player, but clearly you're hacking. And then the people that are hacking in ranked, but they're blatantly hacking, and they know they're hacking, and they like don't hide it. So I don't know which one's worse. I like because both people are scum.
I think I don't know, I think the person who tries to pretend that he's not a hacker is worse than the guy who's just blatantly hacking. Because at least
Yeah.
that guy, he's accepted that he's a loser. You know,
Yeah,
the
but
other
does he?
guy yeah, because it's just out in the open. The other guy,
Yeah.
he wants to try to lie to you and
Yeah.
convince you that he's, like, actually that good, when he's even more stupid than the other guy because these people they're, like, tracing through walls, and then they try
Mhm.
to do, like, a left-right look being like, "Oh, I didn't know he was there, bro." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Like,
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
don't even pretend. Compared to the guy who's just, like, sitting there,
Yeah, yeah.
just absolutely lighting everybody up. I'm
Mhm.
like, "Alright, let's ban this guy." You know?
Yeah. Well, that's the annoying part though with the person that, like you said, you call them out as a hacker and they just say, "Yeah." Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like, I don't care. Like, what, are you gonna ban me? I'll just make another account and do it again. And
Right.
it's like, I think that's when I think people just they feel so defeated when people just don't care. Like they don't have the same not passion isn't the right word, but like I mean I guess I'll use passion, but they don't want to grind it out and like try to get better at the game. They just want to yeah, they get enjoyment about ruining other people's like ranked games for whatever reason. And then you call them out and they're like, "Yeah." And like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, I'm hacking. I don't really care.
I think there's a level of people who hack for the sole reason that they wanna be a Crimson player or an Iridescent player or top 250 for that matter, but they don't care that much that they wanna take it to another level, and especially they don't care enough about putting in all that time, like, it's not worth it to them. They just wanna have this illusion of looking good,
Yeah.
and, like, posting a screenshot and sending it to their, friends group chat and be like, "Dude, look at this, I just went, like, 52 and 9 in this, Crim 3 lobby, like, these guys suck," and their friends are all like, "Oh my god, bro." Like, I think they really do it for internet clout, and that's
Mhm.
it.
And no
Um,
no one
yeah,
actually cares. And
right,
everyone that follows competitive knows that, like, you're those people are just not legit.
right, the people who know that they're hacking, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and it's always gonna be that way. I mean, bro, like that game that we were playing what's the map that one I was thinking of? The other control map. I gotta remember the name of it.
Vault,
Not Vault, the other one.
protocol.
Yeah, Protocol.
Yeah.
I remember when we 3-0'd those guys and we were spitting on these people. Remember that
Yeah.
guy? He went and put in there and he's like, "Yeah, nice hacks, bro." Like, called us that. I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, okay." Obviously, like, they always say that. These people go
Yeah.
when they're like down and out, they call people hackers. I've never been that guy. I'll question
No.
it sometimes if I see some crazy stuff. Um, but dude, down there, I'm like, "Yeah, dog. We're bronze 3 and we're hacking right now." Like, come
Yeah.
on, man. I'm
What
like,
watch the kill cams.
yeah. Yeah, I'm like, "Dude, again, and if I was hacking, I'm like, "Do you think I would be down here? Do you think I would have died at all to you?" I'm like, "You're
Yeah.
shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you're terrible." Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a real problem,
I
though. I've seen this, like, there's a lot of people, especially pros, who are just like, "Dude, rank's unplayable." Like, it's pretty much chalked until they get this, anti-cheat figured out. Which I don't really know what the deal is. I saw that Treyarch put out a statement saying that they're aware of it and they're gonna try to work towards it. I'm like, "Well, that's great."
yeah.
Like, we're
Yeah.
aware that it's a broken mess.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think every developer knows, about these cheaters. I don't think they're oblivious to it like everyone on Twitter thinks they are. Uh, I just I've said it in the past. Like you get rid of one, and then 100 more spawn in. Like
Right.
I don't know what the solution is, uh, and I don't think it helps just going on Twitter and complaining about like you fix your fucking game. Where I think they're well aware of all this shit happening, and I don't think there's a solution really. Like to be honest, like I'm not that technical and I don't know anything about coding, but I can't imagine trying to fix all of this is a very easy task. And I'm not giving them like a pass or anything because Treyarch's great. Like they're the best developer. But if they can't figure it out, like it's got to be a very, very hard like challenge, you know?
Yeah, and that's where, I'm kinda naive to this because I don't know if it's an Activision thing or if it's a Treyarch thing.
I'm sure
Um
it's like a mix of both now. you know?
Right.
But the thing is, we know that Treyarch is gonna put in the effort to really try to fix this, and whether I'd imagine Activision is like, "We need to fix this," because they're losing players on the game if
Right.
it's not getting fixed. So I'd imagine they wanna get this fixed too, but, like, what's the solution? Like, I
Yeah.
don't understand what they're supposed to do, and people are just gonna say, "Well, make an anti-cheat." What the fuck is an anti-cheat, though? You know what I mean? Like, how do you build one to get rid of one person, and then you get rid of one, and then 100 more spawn in? I don't understand it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I don't understand how it exactly works. There's probably someone out there who could really explain exactly how an anti-cheat works. Um, but again, that's my thing is what's stopping this person or these people in general from just when they get banned, they go and make a new one, you know?
Yeah.
And you're just gonna have this, like, pile of people that are constantly cheating, which I think inevitably you're always gonna have people that are cheating in video games. That'll never go away. That's been around, you know, pretty much since, like, the beginning of video games in general. But it's a problem where these people in COD keep going through the ranks and like, if you're in bronze and you're hacking and then you get banned, it's like, okay, that sucks. That they even got into the game in general, but hey, at least they're getting banned there. It's a problem too, though, when these people are in bronze, then they get through silver, then gold, then plat, then they're in the freaking top 250. And it's like, dude, these guys have been hacking for a while and no
Mhm.
one's gotten them taken out. Like, that's where it's a serious issue. And there's a lot of people that you see that in the top 250, even last year, that people are like, "Oh, this guy blatantly, cheats."
Mhm.
And he was one of those guys that's like trying to make it look like he's not cheating, a la
Yeah.
Jimbo. It's like
Yeah.
these guys are kind of hacking, but they're real slick with it.
Yeah.
Um, and it's like, how do you get rid of them? I don't know
Well,
if it's
eh
report numbers or what.
yeah. I don't think there's an easy solution. Like, if
No,
we saw the real numbers of, "Alright, these are the people hacking," and then, Treyarch has a magic wand, and they get rid of all of them, they're gonna go and make more other accounts and just start doing
right,
it again. Like that well, like, there is no the punishment is banning them,
right,
and they're gonna try again, you know? The
right.
punishment should be, like, your fucking computer explodes or, like, death. I don't know. Personally, I think if you hack, you're just a loser, and you need to go and do something with your life, and I'm not gonna say death is the answer, but I don't know, blow up your computer?
Death to your computer. Yeah,
Yeah, or uh I've heard people say, "Oh, well, just, like, ban their account on the IP address that, they're playing on." But I'm sure there's a way to, like, change your IP address to, like, multiple different locations over and
right,
over and over again.
right.
That's why I this just isn't a simple solution. I don't know what the answer is, besides, like, blowing up your console or computer. Like, imagine Treyarch just has people going to people's houses. Like, "You're
Well,
hacking? Get get 'em
I
out."
think I think a great thing would be that if you, like, it would be part of their terms and conditions that if you are someone who has been striked as hacking or cheating in the game, that they ban you off the game.
Yeah.
And then in order to go and replay the game, you'd have to make an entirely new account and you have to repurchase the license to the game. I think that would be a big hurdle because now these people would be, financially invested into it, you
Mhm.
know, which, comes to the question, does Activision care at that point? Because they could have a person who's spending thousands of dollars and just keep banning him. I mean, I think they would. It's like, dude, this is a win-win for them. They ban people, so
Mhm.
the community's happy. And then these people have to keep rebuying the game if they're that desperate to be hacking.
Mhm.
So they're just making, tons of money on it.
Yeah. My
Now I don't know how you could do that, but I don't see in how they couldn't make it be like, okay, if you are someone who is accused of hacking or has been taken down by, you know, whatever department that deals in that, then you've violated the terms and services of the game and you get banned off the game, like
Mhm.
entirely. Like they remove it from your account.
Yeah, and, I'm pretty sure I said something related to that in MW3 about, like, you have to buy the game again if you end up
Right.
hacking. Like, this has been a problem, like, every single year with ranked. Um, but yeah, like I think you gotta not only like lock out your account on that game and then make you rebuy it again, um, but somehow lock out it on your console or uh your
Mainly your
computer.
PC. Yeah.
Yeah, like you just something with it, right? And I do think though people will just end up just buying the game again and just doing it, or they're gonna find some way, right, to bypass that. I'm sure
Right.
there's a way, because there's always a way with these people. And but then you think about the other side of like pros, for example. I'm sure, like, dude, we're getting called hackers, and we're not even close to hackers.
Right.
Pros are getting called hackers all the time, and players like for like Beans and Nero, like Nero's been shadow banned
Yeah,
for
which
like
is crazy.
yeah, I don't know if he's like playing now, but I remember when ranked came out, like he's like, "Yep, it's been day 3, still banned." It's like, "What? This dude's a professional player."
Right.
And
Right.
like I don't know, you just that like I'd be pissed if I was him, and I'm sure he was. He's like,
Oh,
"Oh,
yeah.
everybody's been reporting me as a hacker," or if whatever the anti cheat accused him of hacking, but he's actually just that good. And then, people would say, "Oh, we'll give them a Treyarch rep or something, right, to unban them." That is way too much power. Like for those guys, obviously, those guys know what hackers are, right? But you've also heard some of them say, like Karma, for example. He's like, "Dude, I thought Illy was hacking, 100%," but
Right.
he wasn't. Like he
Right.
was actually that good. So I just don't think you can give that much power to someone because there's always going to be biased. Like someone will be biased, and then think about the people that are actually a Treyarch and say they're actually playing ranked and they're mad at a game that happened. They're like, this person's a hacker, and they actually work there, and they go in and just, I'm going to ban you because I work here, which
Right.
obviously that's illegal. You can't do that, but like someone has that power. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's where the problem is, like, whenever there's the human element that's involved, there it's always gonna be kinda dicey.
Mhm,
Like you said, there could be bias, there could just be, you could be flat out wrong about something. Um, I think there needs to be a way where they blatantly are able to see that there are hacks downloaded and are active during the game.
mhm,
Which from what it seems like right now, that's not really how they base it because Nero obviously is not hacking, Beans, of course not. But if I had to assume, it's just based off of numbers, how many reports that they get from these
mhm.
people. And I don't know if it's like the NFL, they go and review the play, they
Oh,
review the content, and like there's someone there that's like, yeah, he's definitely hacking, like
mhm,
clearly, or if they're like, nah, I don't see it, like, you know what I mean? And that's how they make their decision. I have no idea. I mean,
mhm.
something like that guy, if you looked him up, it's like, man, just take out your phone and look up Twitter. It's like pro player. Oh, got it.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That
Well,
kind of
that
solves it. But they don't, there's obviously that is not part of it. That's why these
mhm.
guys are getting banned.
Well, that's the thing. Like, that's the most logical way to ban people, right? Like, you look at numbers based how many people are reported and things like that. But
Justin, numbers don't
yeah,
lie.
numbers don't lie, but
People do.
they don't they don't reveal the full issue, like
Right.
that, or the full story. Where
Hmm.
I'm sure all the pro players are getting reported all the time.
Right.
Where and like you said, they can go and pull up Twitter or whatever and like see if they're a pro
Yeah.
player, but like they don't have time obviously to do all of that. Like it's just some algorithm that tries to figure out if these numbers, you know, hit this threshold or whatever, ban them. But yeah, I think that's just a long way of saying that we don't know what the answer is, and uh, like they probably don't either. Like I'm sure they're working on it. They're aware of the issue, but I don't think it's a very easy like answer or a very easy thing to fix.
No, definitely not. I mean, that's why this has just been an ongoing issue, and I think it's going to be an ongoing issue for a while. Truth be told, if I had to call it right now, I don't think this game is going to, make massive leaps in the hacking issue. I think they're going to fix it. Like, it's really bad now. I think they're gonna dial it down, but, I think it's gonna be like how it was in MW3, where there were clearly hackers in the game and some that kinda did sneak through. But I would say for probably, like, 75 to 80% of the people that play the game, it wasn't an everyday occurrence that you were gonna be seeing these people. Um,
Yeah.
which again, like, you gotta call it the way it is, right? Like, the vast majority of the people that they care about, that Activision cares about and Treyarch, is the people from bronze up probably into platinum, you know?
Mhm.
Like, I remember when we did that, one of those, TikToks that we had where we went over the statistics of where people fell and ranked. I mean, it was crazy, like, the amount of people that fall into gold
Yeah.
and plat, like,
Early
that's
plat,
their
yeah.
basis, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and most of the time, you're not gonna find the hackers in there, If you find them, it's like for a game, because by the time they get, 72 kills and 1 death, they,
Mhm.
are already into diamond. Um, it's just gonna be when you're up into those really high, small percentage realms, that's where it's a huge problem for people, and it's a question of, like, do they, you know, say, do they care enough to be able to get rid of all those people? Because it's like they'll be like, "Oh, well, who's it really affecting?" Like, look at the players that are up there. It's like 2%, you
Mhm.
know? My
Yeah.
thing would be like 2% is a lot of people still. Like, in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of the millions of people that play this game,
Mhm.
that's a lot of people,
Mhm. And
Um,
honestly, I'm sure they're still thinking of that, like, that 2%, uh, is a lot of people playing the game, and the hackers in there are a risk to, like, the entire game, not just ranked, you know? Which I'd imagine that's how, like, most people are thinking at Treyarch, like, trying to get rid of these hackers. But if they have to play the numbers games, and if they wanna slow down hackers, they gotta, I don't know, maybe implement, turning off crossplay again to minimize, "Alright, look, we're working on trying to get rid of these hackers, but if you wanna have a better chance of not being hacked on, go on console, and that'll help out, but it's not fair to those people at the top, like, just because they're good players, that means they're just getting into hacked lobbies, which makes no sense, like, they're not rewarded for being good.
right, yeah,
They're
it's
being
like they're
kicked
being
down.
punished.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're being punished for being a good player.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, and that's clearly, like, the whole point of what, I'm saying is, the experience for us right now, like, again, being in a low rank right now because we haven't played a ton. I mean, say a ton compared to these people who have been, grinding out and they're already in the diamonds and crim realms. Our and being on console, our experience is way different.
mhm,
And I would probably bet that a lot of people who play ranked are in the same thing too, like of the casuals who play. Like I'm gonna talk to my buddy tomorrow about it when I have him for guitar, and he's probably be like, dude, rank's like really good. I'm like,
mhm.
yeah, I'm sure it is, bro. You're bronze too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and you ain't going anywhere, dog.
yeah,
Like, but the people who complain, and rightfully so, all the ones that I would see online, it's like everybody's in Diamond 3, Crim, like these people are way up there.
mhm,
Um, and yeah, that's where you're gonna see most of them. Day one is just disgusting.
yeah, yeah,
I think that's so pathetic. The first day the stuff comes out.
mhm,
And it's not a good look. It's not a good look for anybody involved. But I don't know. If I had to call it, I don't think it's gonna be, resolved entirely, like,
mhm,
definitely no chance, but I
mhm.
think it will in, like, the subsequent month. I think it'll die down a bit. It'll be probably like MW3.
Yeah. The only thing I see with that is that this is actually a good game, and they're being punished for a good game. Like, all the hackers are gonna gravitate towards the best games
Right.
because they wanna ruin other people's experiences. So, finally, we have a COD that's really good and people are on it, like, everybody wants to play this game. These hackers are just gonna be like, "Oh, okay. Everyone's happy here. Let's go ruin it for them." Whereas
Right.
MW3, we know, like, people just they slowly fall off the game, and it's gonna happen with this game too, but I don't think the drop off with this game is gonna be as quick. I think people are enjoying this game way more than, like, people actually thought. We knew
Yeah,
because
no doubt.
we trust Treyarch, but I think the hackers are just gonna stay, and Treyarch will do their best. Like you said, I think I'm sure they're gonna make some milestone post and be like, "We got 200,000 accounts like banned. Woo!" And then like again, there's gonna be like 500,000 more or something like that. They're gonna get
It's
rid of
like
accounts and then more are gonna pop up.
the corporate scribe comes in and drafts up
Mhm,
a sick letter like that's it's like when politicians do that. They're like,
mhm.
"We have done this, we've done this." It's like, "Okay, bro." It's like, "What
Yeah, yeah,
about all this?"
yeah,
Same
yeah,
thing. They're gonna be like, "We've banned over 200,000." I'm like, "Bro, I played one yesterday." Like,
yeah,
"What are you
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about?"
Well,
You
see
know?
that's the thing. Like, I feel bad for them because it's like you celebrate a win, but it doesn't matter because there's
Right.
it's like
I
even
mean,
worse.
people won't ever be happy until, you know
Everything's gone.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's just never gonna happen unless, again,
We
like we've
exterminate the
said,
hackers. Exterminate.
or
The
or
roaches,
we
man.
exterminate COD off PC, and it's
Yeah.
just only on console. Those are like that's it. If again, bro, on MW3 and even MW2, if I can remember, I mean, man, maybe 2 times came across someone who was hacking. Like, that's it.
Mhm.
You know? But then I was talking to, our friend Christian, and he was watching, I think it was a Naval, or he's watching somebody. No, it was Nate Shot, and he's like, Dude, almost every game he played, hackers,
Yeah.
blatant." And that's like, dude, that guy in one, 6-hour stream came across more hackers than I did
Mhm.
in my entire time playing this game, you know? But it's
Yeah.
like he's on PC. He's
Mhm.
playing way higher lobbies. He's like in the, iridescent realm facing those guys in top 250. I'm like, we're in
Mhm.
diamond on console. It's like apples to oranges.
Yeah, no,
The
literally, and,
experience
like
is so different.
yeah. But then, we've got hacked on in, like, MW2, and then we're pissed. We're like, "What the fuck? Like, why are you
Yeah.
doing this?" So I can't even imagine, like imagine trying to queue up into a game and, like, 85% of your games are just hackers. Like, you're not even playing it.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't like, and I don't blame these people, a lot of these top players and streamers, um, for pretty much saying like, I'm done, like
Yeah.
I'm not going to play ranked. I'm like, I don't blame them. Why would you
Yes,
ever
sir.
want
Yeah.
to go and play these people where it's like the chance of you winning is so slim, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they literally have God mode on. Like,
Yeah.
why would you wanna do that? It's just yeah,
And you
it's
yeah.
pointless.
And you're not even playing. You load in, it's in like, you just know you lost, like you said.
Yeah, exactly.
And then yeah, but that's why I think Treyarch will try to, you know, fix this the best that they can because you're obviously losing big time, like, influencers of the game. You don't want these people off your game because of that. And again, they shouldn't be punished playing a game because they're good at it, you know? Um, and people have compared it to, like, other games and their anti-cheats, which is, like, real. I don't know what they do, like, um, people have compared it to, like, CS:GO and Valorant. I have no idea what they do to, you know,
Yeah,
ban
same.
these people. Or do people just not care as much about hacking on those games? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I
maybe
do.
COD is just too casual, like, you know, a lot of casuals play COD, so that's where all the hackers just hang out.
It could be that, for sure. I think that may be an element of it, but I think your other point about, like, those developers and those teams just have a really good anti-cheat.
Yeah.
I would
Oh, yeah.
imagine that it's that, like those games, and I think, well, Valorant now being crossplay, I wonder how that's really affected it. But I remember Valorant like being only PC. It's like,
Mhm.
okay, they can figure out a system that works
Mhm.
for that game and for them. And to that whole thing, my question is, I'm like, why isn't COD doing that? You
Yeah.
know, like
Yeah.
that's where I get lost in this whole argument. Like, I don't
Mhm.
understand why this is such a um conundrum for them to
Well, yeah,
figure out.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah, and then my thing too is like, what is this anti-cheat that, like, Valorant has? You know what I
yeah,
like,
it's
like,
what
if
is
you're
it?
because this is no, the dude, literally, I'm like, what
Show
is
us
this
the way.
secret that,
Yeah.
like, you're telling me there's an anti-cheat for this that everybody keeps praising, But you're telling me one of the biggest video games in the world
Exactly, yeah. They
can't
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 figure it
develop
out.
it? So part of me is like, maybe people just aren't hacking in these games. They're not
Right.
like there aren't enough hackers to go and hack like on these games. I don't know.
Well,
Because
eh
they if you compare the numbers of like those games are strictly competitive players. Like people
I
that follow
yeah,
it are all competitive fans, and you look at COD, it's not just competitive fans. We're like a very small number of fans versus the giant casual realm, right? And I guess the people that play CS:GO and Val, there are hackers there, but they have more integrity to the competitive game than people in Call of Duty. That's why people look at us and they think we're scum for playing
right.
COD.
I was just gonna say, I think that's definitely a big reason why, like, Call of Duty is so much bigger than all those games, and the, overwhelming base of it being casual players, I think you're more susceptible to that.
Mhm.
And just again, in general, like, I'm sure there's people that hack in Valorant,
Yeah.
um, but the sample size to what they're, like, drawing from is way smaller.
Mhm.
There's just nowhere near as many people playing Valorant and that, again, that are in those ranked lobbies, playing. Yeah, I just don't think it's as big of a deal. I'm sure there's still hackers in
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
but yeah, totally right.
Yeah. The difference is that game was built for competitive versus COD is it's a casual shooter where we're
Right.
trying to make it competitive, which it can be, but there's just more casual fans in COD than Valorant, you know? Like so it's
So
there's no clear
we can
answer, basically.
no. So that's
um
our rank experience. Not bad.
we've had a good time.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
feel for everyone else.
yeah, I'm curious what people, listen and think about it because, what a solution is or what their experience is.
Mm.
Again, that's where we are right now on it. Maybe our opinion will change as like the subsequent weeks and months go on and we get into the plat realm and into potential low diamond. If it's going to be worse for us, it'll be an ongoing discussion. But as of right now, we haven't experienced it at all.
Yeah. I mean, to your point with them like the only way they can really figure out if you're hacking is if they look at, what's on your PC. I think that's a problem. Like they can't. Oh, maybe they can. I don't know. Like, do they have the right to just let me see what's on your PC?
Yeah, bro, the government's watching this
Sounds
episode right now,
illegal.
bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro,
sounds
they
illegal.
got my camera on my laptop right here. They're watching.
Yeah. Um, but if they're able to do that and be like, look, you got something on your PC that is
Right.
impacting this game, uh, we're blowing up your PC.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
telling like
You
involve
in a
money
house?
somehow.
Yeah. You got homeowners insurance? No? Well, it's a real problem.
Yeah, yeah. We're lighting your thing on fire.
Yeah.
um, yeah. I mean, we've had a great experience. These pro players, I feel for them. Um, like you said, I wonder if it's going to change really. If you're a hacker, please don't listen to us because you're a roach, and roaches don't burn.
A
Yeah,
stain on
yeah,
society.
yeah. You got to exterminate them somehow. So, like, yeah. Overall, we're having fun.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's all
We're
we can
having
ask
fun.
for,
We're having fun. So
um,
let us know if you're having fun too, because again,
yeah,
it's if you're in like Diamond 3 or you're like I'm Crim 1, you could just leave it at that. Probably apologize to you. But
yeah, yeah. And they're like, if I hear people saying, "Yeah, I'm in the diamonds, I'm getting hacked on," yeah, okay, well, that's a problem.
be like, Yeah, exactly." And that doesn't encourage me to wanna get to diamond. I'll be like,
Dude,
"Okay, bro.
exactly. Yeah,
Yeah, let me go grind so I can get hacked on." You
yeah,
know?
exactly. Um, but I think we covered everything for ranked, right? For the most part,
Yeah,
like
bro.
we're gonna keep grinding out ranked. We're enjoying it. We're having fun. I think it's like last night. I think it's funny that me. I like to make a bunch of different classes for ranked.
Mhm.
Different scenarios, and I saw people under Dash like one of Dashy's videos, and they're like, "Whoa, yo, what's your class? What's your class?" Right? And he's like, "Chat this," and it's the default AR class. He's like, "This is my class. This is my aims class." And some people are like, "No, there's no way." Like, dude, you're just bad. You're not him. You are
Right.
not dashy, right? He hasn't changed anything. This is his class that he uses. uh,
Yeah, bro,
yeah,
he could fry you with an LMG. Like, the guy, you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
People want any excuse. It's like they want that secret sauce that's gonna all of a sudden make them a better
Mhm.
player. And it's like, dude, it's just not gonna happen,
Yeah,
you know?
you just have to be him.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
that
exactly. You wanna be as good as Dashy, you gotta go and play 10 hours a day,
yeah.
for months and years, and even
Mhm.
then, you still probably won't be that good. You'll be better, but
Yeah, yeah.
not on that level.
I think that's when, you know, he's like, "This is my class. It is a default AR class that they assigned us, and some of you still can't outgun me."
Yeah,
And yeah, I
yeah,
saw a clip where like he beat a bunch of hackers, and yeah, like he went off on these guys.
yeah.
Like he was just calling them like dog shit and stuff. Like you hack on day one, like yeah,
Oh, yeah, and those guys too, they probably had the mics off, they could care
muted.
less.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're like yeah,
muted, of
you know,
course,
whatever.
exactly, they don't care.
Yeah, that's when it's the worst. Like they
No,
again, they
yeah,
don't have the passion.
yeah, and they've got no integrity, they got no morals.
Nothing to society, man.
Yep,
Roaches.
yeah, exactly.
And
Fuck 'em.
um,
Disgusting.
yeah, but yeah, let us know what ranked you are and like what your experience is with ranked so far because
Yep,
we're enjoying it. Sorry to the pro players, but hopefully that gets fixed soon. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And we're also posting like questions and stuff on our Spotify, so make sure to
yep,
go leave a comment down there too. Spotify, actually, shout out, they're implementing like a bunch of stuff for podcasts. Like there's shorts now on Spotify, which is pretty
r
cool to me. Like they're trying to take over everything for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
podcasts. So make sure to go on Spotify and, you know, go watch all that. We're also on anchor.fm/COD Casuals. That's where all of our streaming platforms are. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok where we cut up all the episodes and post them there if you don't want to listen to the whole thing. And yeah. Make sure to go to Twitter and join the community because we're always
Yes.
on there like posting and
Yep,
talking about, you know, whatever is happening in Call of Duty. And that's it. Right.
I think that's it, bro.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. This has been episode 198 of the COD Casuals. We're your host, Justin,
And I'm Mike.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Take it easy, everybody.
See ya.